Shalom, shalom, shalom. Hope this video is edifying. Shalom to the Aqua, to the Akim. Shalom.
Y'all ready?
All right, shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, first of all, I just want to give all praise to Abanawa.
Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahusha, Ba'ashim, Rakakudash.
Hey, double honors be to the apostle, let's get millstone, trust in the spirit. Peace and much love and salutations to Israel. So-called Negroes, like to the Americans, who want to choose this report is Bible.
A man as long as he liveth. For the woman which hath a husband is bound by the law to her husband, so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband. So then if, while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called in adultery. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adultery.
You know, now Paul's making that reference to us in the law, right? Which the Ten Commandments, which goes back to Moses and the 613 laws that was given, right? So that law is dead. Now we switch on that law, yes, but Yahweh Shai adopted us, right, through His blood. So now we're justified through Yahweh Shai, right? Go ahead.
She is loose from the law of her husband. So then if, while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, thou she be married to another man. Wherefore, my brethren, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of Yahweh Shai.
I said we're dead to the law by the body of Yahweh Shai, because why? We're justified through Yahweh Shai. Right? That's why we're going to be able to make it, is because of Yahweh Shai. Because like I said again, if it was all based upon the law, everything is about the law, none of us here will make it to the kingdom of heaven. We'll Romans 7:4.
Hey, it's in the front seat, huh?
Wherefore, my brother, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of the Mashiach, that ye should be married to another. That's who we married to Yahweh Shai. Go ahead. Even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit unto the Most High. For when we were in the flesh, the motion of sin, which were by the law, did work in our members. Real quick, go to Romans 8. Romans 8:2. For the law of the spirit of life in the Mashiach Yahushua hath made me free from the law of sin and death. That's it. So Yahushua made us free. So we got freedom. See, Yahushua made us free. So we that part getting free again. For the law of the spiritual of life, for the law of the spirit of life in the Mashiach Yahushua have been made me free from the law of sin. That's it. So we're free from the law of sin through Yahweh Shai. See, we're now made free. Go ahead. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh. The Most High sending His own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin commanded sin in the flesh, that the righteous of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit.
Hey, he's face ass bitch.
And that's why man's gonna get destroyed, because there's no order here. See, that's why the scripture says you have a daughter, put her ass in the streets. We're like her ass up. These bitches out here, they're wild, man. They're wild groupies. They ain't got no fucking. Anyway. flesh. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. They are after the flesh do mind things of the flesh. Those are those people, man. You know, so these people are in the flesh. And the flesh just does no good thing. Right. So when these people have been told, that's why Esau said, do as thou will. That's why that's what it's about. Do as you want. Right? Because see, when there's no order, there's no righteousness, because you can do what the fuck you want to do. There is no righteousness in the flesh. The flesh wicked itself. So if I'm in the flesh, I say do as thou will. But whatever my mind, whatever I can think about my mind, I do it. That shit's wicked. This is the flesh. You know? But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit brings life. I'll go back to that. Romans 75. But when we were in the flesh, the motion of sin which were by the law did work in our remembrance to bring forth fruit unto death. That's it. Look what we did. Because we was under the law. Because see, like I said, we only how did Adam and Eve know that they was going off? Because they was given all laws by the Most High. So when they transgressed those laws, they knew they was going off. So we only know sin by the law. And that's why Jake always been going off from the beginning. Because the law wasn't made to be perfect, it was made to be broken. Because if the law was made perfect, we wouldn't be here right now. The law was made for us to err. Because we were the bodies that we've been given, the flesh, the body that we've been given, the temple we've been given, are subject to go off. They're subject to error. These bodies were not made to be perfect. They were made to be flawed. So a better covenant can come which was under Yahweh Shai, so we could be adopted back and we can be made new again. And we can be made perfect. That's the whole point. Right? Real quick, grab me Galatians 5 and 18. Grab me Galatians 5 and 18. Galatians chapter 5, verse 18. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Yes, so we be led by the Spirit, not under the law. Right? Go ahead. Now the work.
Sorry, it's like John 3 and 6. John 3 and 6. St. John 3 and 6, what you said. In St. John chapter 3, it's like 3 and 6. This St. John chapter 3, verse 6. I'm going to start at 5. Yahweh shall answer, verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit.
Yes, so that which is born of the flesh is flesh, that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. So we've been reborn through the Spirit, which is by His knowledge. Right. Okay, that's how we've been back and forth. We've come back to remember who we are, and we've been adopted to Yahweh. We've been brought back to Yahweh Shai.
Marvel not that I said unto thee, you must be born again. That you must be born again. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof.
And when it says be born again, that's talking about from the world back inside this truth, because you get renewed. Okay, that's the part of being reborn. Okay, we was all reborn because we started off as heathens. We started off not knowing the Lord. So we had to be reborn to get back in this truth. That's why we start somewhere and we go from there.
Yeah, it was right.
We started in the beginning, mind and being in the flesh. Right. And then we've been adopted back to being the Spirit, which is being adopted back to Yahweh Shai.
And that's what that things of this flesh of the flesh is meaning the things of the world. That goes back to the things of the world is the things of the flesh. We mind the things of the world when we were worldly. But now we mind the things of the Spirit because we're spiritual men. So the life of the flesh, the vehicles of the flesh, the things that our flesh want, that they and they still do at this time. You know, I see things I want, you know what I'm saying? But that's because we come out of this world. But we still keep it spiritual because the very first thing we're born in the Spirit. We're born again. We're new. You know, so now our mind is of the things of the Spirit. Okay? The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh and whence it goeth.
And the Spirit comes and goes, it goes like the wind.
Yep. Right. And that's even with us. You know what I mean? Sometimes I might, pop up 3-4 videos. Sometimes I might pop one. Like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the Spirit hit you heavy. You might have, hey man, shit, when we was in the truck, man, we have pumped, how many we pumped out one day? We pumped out so many fucking videos. We just kept popping videos after video. But then the next week, you pop out 3 videos. And then you like, it ain't because the Lord ain't fucking with you. It's just how it is. The spirit comes and goes, man. That don't, a lot of people feel like they awful when something wrong with you. Yeah, you can't force it, man. You just gotta let it go. And then sometimes your spirit, you ain't really in the mood. Man, you start a video, and that's you get the popping, man. It be kind of weak at first. You be like, oh, I have to be. Well, things happen to me a few times, shit. I be like, then next thing I know, I hit one scripture, and that shit just pop. I'm like, oh shit, boom, 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 and I'm just start rocking. But that's just how the spirit it comes, it goes, man. And that's what we gotta get used to. You know, everybody not gonna just be 1,000 all the fucking time, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's about.
That's right. That's right. And the Lord, and what is it? An unjust wage is an abomination, man. You know, and you gotta be just. You gotta, be able to go between. You know. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh, and whither it goeth. So is every one that is born of the Spirit.
Romans 7:6. But now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve in newness of spirit, and not in the oldness of the letter.
Right.
What shall we say then? Is the law sin? The Most High forbid? Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law.
That's it. So you only know sin by the law. Go ahead.
For I had not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet.
That's it.
But
Right.
sin taking occasion by the commandment wrought in me all manner of concupiscence. Concupiscence, for without the law sin was dead.
Get that word. Let them, you know what I mean? Edify that word. Stop people out of that word. Grab that word. Edify. You know what I mean? Edify.
The word concupiscence means desire, craving, longing, desire for what is forbidden, lust.
Beautiful.
So basically going to diverse lust.
Yup.
For I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived, and I died.
Yep.
And the commandment which was ordained to life I found to be unto death. For sin, taking occasion by the commandment, deceived me, and by it slew me. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good. Was then that which is good made death unto me? The Most High forbid, but sin, that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good, that sin by the commandment might become exceeding sinful.
Is that which is the flesh? Go ahead.
For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal.
That's what Paul's saying. Because see, the law that was given, it's very spiritual. It's an order from heaven. So the Most High has high expectations. We've been given this fleshly mind, these fleshly bodies. We're not gonna be able to keep those things 100%. Even from it was set from the beginning. We were subject to error from the beginning because we were sold on into the flesh. The Lord already knew that we weren't gonna be able to keep those 100%. He knew it. That's why we would say here in these special tabernacles to go off. That was the whole point of it. But to bring us back to a new hope, which is Yahweh Shai, so that we could be like Him. See, the whole point is to be like Yahweh Shai, be all like Yahweh Shai on earth, to be perfect. That was the whole point. If we were made to be perfect from the beginning, we wouldn't be here. There's reason why we're flawed. There's reason why you get wicked thoughts, because that was how the Most High designed it. The Lord designed us to go off. Now does that mean you go off because the Lord? No. You fight again. That's why Paul said, fight the good fight of faith. Because you gotta fight, you gotta resist the evil. That's what's already within you, it's the flesh. But you have those, they're not strong enough to resist the flesh. They're not strong enough. So that's why you got niggas, they homosexuals, they gonna do it because why? They can't fight them urges, they're fucking wicked. Right? They can't fight those wicked urges. Niggas can't get off the weed because why? They can't fight those fleshly urges. But you have certain men that can resist those things. That's why y'all said, I think it's Mark the 8th chapter, he said, come follow, he said, deny yourself and pick up your cross. Deny yourself by denying your flesh, denying the things of diverse lusts that Paul, the things that are contrary to the Bible. Right? Go ahead.
This is Galatians chapter 5 and 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
That's it.
For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other.
And that's the fight. So the fight is the spirit against the flesh. That's the battle. Because everything, like Paul said, everything is spiritual. So your spirit, that's why when you read, go to Romans chapter.
This is Romans chapter 8, verse. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 1. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. For the law of the spirit of life in Yahushua hath made you free from the law of sin and death. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, the Most High sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Yes, so to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Go ahead.
Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can it be.
Now jump to 26.
This verse 26. Likewise, the Spirit also looketh at infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought. But the Spirit itself making intercessions for us with groanings.
And so our spirit is groaning. These are which cannot be uttered. See, because our spiritual man is crying and moaning because why? It's subdued unto this flesh. That's why when you read Jude 1, they'll be the Most High said that there's a the first day they have been cast down to these chains of darkness. So you gotta be able to picture it. You gotta be able to picture his spirit, right, being locked away, chained up in a fleshly tabernacle. So to the fact that that's why the spirit is not. That's why it's crying. It's under lock. It's under chains. So really, we're dead living, right? The life we live is a dead life because we're really dead because our spirit isn't able to really live. But once you die, you're able to live again because you go back to your first state, because you go back to being righteous. Because really, life is death and death is life. See, people have it's backwards. Right now we're dead because see we live in the flesh. The flesh is dead. Once we die, we leave these bodies. Our spirits are now free, and your spirit is happy once it leaves these bodies. See, your spirit is happy as fuck. Once your spirit leaves these tabernacles, it breaks free. It's rejoicing because it's no longer sold under sin. That's why when Yahweh comes back, you're going to be delivered from this flesh.
Right. This is Jude chapter 1, verse 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate.
Because like I said again, our first estate is spiritual state. Right? We push all spiritual goods. Everything you see here is spiritual for what's Christ. Everything is spiritual. Right? We're all spirits, we're just spirits and bodies. That's all we are. But our bodies also pressing our spirit. Go ahead.
But left their own habitation, he hath preserved in everlasting change under darkness.
So change under darkness. So these bodies are suppressing the spirit. It's suppressing our higher self. That's why, like I said again, this is what Scripture say, our spirit are making cries that we don't know about. Our spirit's been innocent for all our behalf because the spirit knows, hey man, we gotta get the fuck out of here. This shit ain't right. Your spirit is locked down.
Right? Under darkness, unto the judgment of the great day.
That's it. Hey, Slocky, because you know how like when you sleep, subconscious, it's always going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your mind is still functioning. That's your spirit, right? Your spirit man is now your spirit man is moving because now your flesh is dead, right? Because when your flesh is woke when you woke to the earth. But when your flesh is when it has to recharge itself, now your spirit man is fully conscious to the Lord. That's why when you go back in Job, the Lord said He speaks to man in a dream.
Yeah. This is technically the matrix.
Yeah.
Right now we're in the matrix. We're not gonna get put out of the matrix until Yahweh comes back.
That's right.
See,
that's right.
we're aware.
You're many Yahweh.
Like exactly. We're aware that the fact of that we live in a false reality. We're aware of that. Right. This life is a simulation.
Yeah.
Right. It's a simulation. But once Yahweh we spotted it, we're gonna that's why I said we were like them that dream. Yeah. Right? So it's gonna be like a dream because we're gonna wake up to reality. Because when Neo first woke out of the matrix, he's like, what the fuck, where am I at? Where am I? What's going on? He was all fucked up. he was all, discombobulated because why? He was so used to being in that false reality.
Yeah.
Let me get 1 Corinthians 15. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
It's 1 Corinthians 2:10. But the Most High hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things, yeah, the deep things of the Most High.
That's the deep thing. So the deep thing is to realize that the fact that you live in a matrix, that you live in a false reality, and that the body you're in is false. Right? The real body you want is a spiritual body. That's the goal. This ain't it. This ain't it. So when you wake up, like majority of people, they're not aware of that. They don't even understand their spirits and bodies. They don't really think upon it because their minds are fully submerged into the matrix of the world. But like I said again, like Morpheus would be like the apostles, right? Morpheus will really represent Elijah, Al-Bibs to bring us back, to pull us out of the matrix, to pull us out of that understanding of the fact that you're just a Negro, bring you back to who you are. And then we're like the 144,000 or the Neos. We rebel against the system. So we're not supposed to say, there are 7,000 men that are about the end of Baal. They represent Neo. They're the chosen ones. So they're the ones that wake out of the false reality at the fact that we live in a bullshit society. This shit's wicked. This ain't right. Esau's the devil. Or we're slaves. We gotta get the hell out of it, right? But we gotta wait for your house to unplug us out, right? This shit gotta be destroyed first. Once that happens, then we'll get plugged out. Then we're gonna wake up. Oh shit, yo, we're back, right? Because we were living in a bullshit reality. It's like a bad dream, But you got the people that see us. They don't believe because why? They're so stuck into this way of life that they can't see past it. And that's why ultimately they're gonna be the ones who take that shit. Because that's why their minds are so on, or they rely on the system so much. So they can't live without the system. They always I gotta do this, I gotta they shit, I gotta go get it. Right, but you have those that are woke, they're like, nah, I ain't doing that shit. Because I know what's up, I know what's going on. I'm woke,
Well, what? Man,
like we pissed off the algorithm. That's why we fucking up Esau's algorithm, right? Because like I said, that's why this whole YouTube thing. That's why they try to suppress YouTube, because why we're fucking up his algorithm. Esau isn't able to do what he wants to do because we're out here. See, he can't really push his full. He can push it, but some people know about it because they heard us speak. They're like, oh, whoa, I heard them dudes say that about the thing. I'm not really with that shit. So we're making it hard for Esau to really move because we had the truth. But only way for him to stop us is for them to kill us. That's why you had the agents. They want to kill Neo. Right. Their whole thing was to kill Neo. If I kill Neo, everything's done. Right? But that's the that Esau forgot that the 7,000 men and not about near Baal. Nothing you can do about it. Because the Lord says we're like brothers in Esau's program.
And it's lucky, but it's just like that. But the other thing, like the agents couldn't understand that they were destined to go down.
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Just like Esau now today. Yeah,
Exactly.
you're the power of the earth now.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can find us to see where we're at.
Exactly.
But the minute that you think you got us and killed us, the Lord turned that spirit up. It ain't shit you can do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a point in time where like this why you're gonna go to 1 Corinthians. You're gonna be changed, right? So it's gonna be a time when Esau gonna come up against us, just as they came up against me in the book. And the Lord is gonna seem like all is failed, but He's gonna turn us up. You know what I mean?
And that's these niggas stuck in the matrix, man. Niggas be stuck.
Hey, but that vibration though, man.
Yeah.
Right? Like I like that song because I used to like that song, right? Because when you was in the world, it's that tune.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's that shit. When you in the spirit, them vibrations, you know it and feel it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It gives off that shit. It's loud as fuck. Now let us go around teaching that lie. What the police will be on us so heavy, man. Let us have big ass speakers up here screaming and hollering out about the word.
Yeah.
Now these niggas talk about clapping the nigga, killing the nigga, fucking the bitch, yada yada. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's to keep you asleep. And that's
right.
So that's his whole program.
That's that charm.
So yes, because Esau don't want us woke. He wants to keep us asleep.
That's right.
So the best way to keep you asleep is by giving you the most bullshit as I can.
That's right.
Feed you as much lies,
Yep.
much bullshit I can, and keep you subconsciously submerged
Yep.
in my world, so you don't wake up to it. Because when you wake up to it, the game's over.
That's right.
Once we wake up to the fact that we're Israelites, once we wake up to the fact the name of the Lord,
That's right.
his game is done. He can't play no more. He lost. Because the whole point is to keep us down. You know? It's all a game.
For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him?
Mm-hmm.
Even so the things of the Most High knoweth no man but the spirit of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have received not the spirit of the world,
Yep.
but the spirit which is of the Most High.
That's it. So we didn't receive the spirit of the world. So therefore, we're not going to be like everyone else in the world. See, we're not going to have the mindset everybody else in the world. We could go go through society and function, but still know that it's just bullshit. That's how we work. We don't really care about this place. Music can drop right now, we're like the Wadi Habashim Yahweh Shai. But everybody else, they'll see it as a bad thing. But that's a good thing to us because we're gonna be delivered.
And so the chariots, it's a curse upon the earth. It's a curse to them, but it's like to us.
Exactly.
It's an art for us.
Yeah, I got a quick piece of it. Hey, this is 2 Chronicles. Yeah. This 2 Chronicles 7 and 2 Chronicles 7 and 14. 2 Chronicles 7 and 14. Yeah. If my people, which are called by my name, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land.
That's it. And that's what I think about it. So once Jake wake the hell up, realize who he is, that's only 144,000 that's gonna do it. Lord, if we're looking for the whole nation. But if we all this was to repent at once, Lord would come back at that very same second and come get us up out this motherfucker, man. But the fact of the matter is that our people are stuck. They want to live this life that they're just gone. They can't see them being Israelites. They can't see the bigger picture. They're just fucked. So that is what it is. But there's the elect that's gonna wake up to that, man. And we're gonna be living, you know.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preach unto you, which also ye have received and wherein ye stand, by which also ye are saved, if ye keep in memory what I preached unto you, unless ye have believed in vain.
Yep.
For I delivered unto you first of all that which I also received, how that Mashiach died for our sins according to the scriptures, and what we have, and that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day according to the scriptures.
Exactly.
Matthew 27, 28, chapter 28. And that he was seen of Cyprus, then of the 12. After that, he was seen of above 500 brethren.
So there was, like I said, so there was. Wait, go. My whole point is I want to go. But this is a good point too. When Yahweh Shai rose, he came unto the 12 and others. There was other men that fought for Yahweh Shai. There was 500 other men, right? Yeah. So that Yahweh Shai had more than just 12 disciples.
Well, it's 144, right?
Exactly.
It's 144 chosen. And before he go there right quick, and I put this out, Tazawa said Romans 13:11, and that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation near that we have believed.
That's it. So this is the best time to wake up right now. We're at the end of this man's side. We're at the end of this man's system. So by realizing that we're at the end of the age, we're at the end of his rulership, you need to wake the hell up. You need to realize where you are, what game you're playing, who's controlling you, who's the master. Esau's the master. He's controlling you. You need to realize you need to wake the fuck up and rely on the Lord to deliver us a body. It's just that simple. Because if you don't, you're gonna be destroyed. And then you're gonna be in the kingdom of heaven shameful, you know? Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 15 and 52.
Yeah, go ahead.
1 Corinthians 15 and 52. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be risen, incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
The dead shall risen incorruptible. See, the scripture calls us dead. We're dead because we are dead right now, man. We're fucking asleep, right? We're all asleep on some type of level. Right now, we're subconsciously on a higher level than most people, but we're still asleep in the eyes of the Lord because we're not in our true state right now, man.
Hey, what the Catholics call it? Purgatory. You ever heard of purgatory? This is your purgatory, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They believe that after this is purgatory, somewhere where you go sit and wait in the afterlife, you wait for God to judge you. No, motherfucker, this is your purgatory. That's what this is what you will call today. This is purgatory. Yeah, you already here.
Go ahead.
For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
So this mortal, which means this we are right now, we're gonna put on immortality, which means we're gonna be forever living beings. So we're gonna be forever alive. We're gonna be, and that's why we're gonna be able to we're gonna really be able to be happy, because why we're gonna be happy through the spirit. Our spirit man is gonna be able to live on earth in a fleshly form like Yahweh Shai, but that's going to be true happiness. We're going to be 100% right. Because in our minds going to be on point. See, we're not going to be subdued. You know, your true self ain't the flesh, it's the spirit.
That's right.
You exist because of your spirit, not because of the flesh. So right now your spirit is being suppressed. That's why you're sad. That's why a lot of times motherfuckers want to die. Because they know that, man, they be knowing subconsciously, like, bro, something ain't right.
Right. Yeah.
That's why true happiness is going to be the key, man, because we're going to be able to live in the spirit.
Hey,
you know?
Salaki, right quick. My brother, man, we killed himself, man.
Yeah.
You know, that was his thing. He was like, he went to school, did his nursing and shit. They tried to get him to go be a physician assistant. They was like, you want to be a doctor, you can go do that. But he was like, nah, he was supposed to go do a physician assistant and shit. He didn't want to go do that. You know what I'm saying? But then he turned around, marriage after failed marriage, deal with this, that day I got damn buzz. I'm not gonna hit it because it's gonna come back worse. You know what I'm saying? Every time we slap him, they're gonna come back even more. But anyway, the point being is, he had his own cribs, he had cars, he had, Mustangs, he had a Corvette, he had a lot of little shit. You know what I'm saying? He had a Cadillac trucks, and, he had his shit. But yet he still, this ain't right, it ain't enough. I gotta be more, I gotta do more. I'm supposed to have more, I'm supposed to be more. And they killed himself. You know what I'm saying? Because